Don Grice. I'm DPW Director for the City of Linden. I have John Winlow here from Rowe Engineering. He's going to be the lead engineer on the project. Chief Sutter's here to answer questions you may have about traffic control and those kinds of things. Then I have Rob Phipps here from ASI. He's going to be the contractor on site for the overall project. The intent of the meeting is just to try to answer as many questions as we can before the project gets started. So we'll run through and we'll talk about detours and those kinds of things. And then if you have questions that we don't answer throughout the presentation, feel free to ask those questions. The construction schedule. So it's currently looking like they're going to start on Wednesday, okay? And so Wednesday will be the day that they'll start with the initial work zone establishment. So what you're going to see on Wednesday is the contractor is going to be on site and he's going to close off the north lane, the westbound lane, and the south lane, eastbound lane, will remain open to traffic. And that will be the traffic pattern throughout the project, okay? So we will maintain eastbound traffic throughout the entire project. That was the desire of our police and fire so that they were able to respond from the station to the east side of the city, okay? Chief, I'll hand it over to you to talk about traffic control and those kinds of things.
Thank you, Don. So we plan on doing some concerted enforcement over those areas, especially along Ripley Road, Saddlebrook Subdivision, and Tickner Streets, okay? I mean, we have one officer on duty each shift, but we're gonna try to make them go, have them down in that area more often. It's gonna be maybe sometime, I don't know, Don, the timeline when it's gonna end the project, but we're gonna try to do that for the entire project, okay? So that way we can kind of curtail speeding, but we're not gonna be there 24/7, of course, because like I said, we have one officer on the road, but we're gonna try to be there as much as possible. Has anybody got any questions about that? Okay. Unfortunately, I had a family emergency, so I have to take off, so I just wanted to introduce myself and tell you how we're gonna handle it, okay? All right, thank you so much.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to do the old school show and tell. So the detour for what is through traffic. So if someone is trying to just pass through the city of Linden and get over to the city of Fenton or on the east side, the actual detour for that is going to be South Linden Road down to Owen Road and then over to Fenton area. So I guess the upside of that is you'll be avoiding our construction and you'll be avoiding the pathway construction that's over by the lake there currently. So that's going to be the through traffic detour, okay? The local traffic detour, these are really small. I apologize that the projector isn't working, but I can leave these out too for people to see. If you've been following us on social media at all, these went out on social media, so this is just a repeat of what you've probably seen. But the local traffic detour, like we said, eastbound traffic's going to remain on East Broad and Silver Lake, so you'll always be able to get east. Now, I use the word always. There may be times when you get behind a trash truck or you get behind a mail delivery on East Broad, and obviously you'll be delayed in that manner. Or if construction equipment is moving around in that through lane. So to get around that on local traffic, we are pushing people to Main Street and then to Tickner, okay? And Tickner will remain open to two-way traffic throughout the duration of the project, okay? So that's going to allow residents to get to their homes. That's going to allow visitors to get to businesses. One of the things we wanted to make sure we did during this process was maintain traffic to, again, homes and businesses throughout the project, okay? So that's going to be the local traffic detour. Any questions on either one of the detours that we can answer?
So are there going to be large trucks on Tickner? Because there are parts of our street that are already failing.
There could be large trucks
Okay, I have
if
a
they're
problem
local
with that.
delivery trucks.
Why don't they have to use the Owen Road into Linden?
If they're local delivery trucks, if they're trying to get to homes or businesses right in the downtown.
But we're not talking semis for the grocery stores and,
No, they should be using the major detour.
so you're talking FedEx, Amazon, and the mail trucks?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Will semis be able to get in, like at Cloggers right there? Our main delivery day,
Yes,
Wednesday, will the semis be able to?
yes, and they'll certainly work with them. Now, it's not saying there might be a slight delay if there's a piece of equipment or something,
Yeah.
but the contractor knows that they're gonna work with the businesses on getting people in and out, so. Yeah,
Hey Don, just a FYI, I know when they made it smaller, so everybody's gonna have to slow down a little bit.
Way narrow.
2 cars to pass, which was a good thing, it slows down a little, but that's
Sure.
just something to mention too.
yeah.
And the no parking needs to be enforced on Tickner.
Yeah, well, the police chief, he's aware of that. They were part of the process as we were figuring out the detour and what we were able to do and not do. And so they understand that there's gonna be some enforcement issues that they're gonna have to pay attention to.
Well, some of this detour plan was at the behest of Chief as well.
Yeah.
Yes, we're getting a lot of background noise from the homeowner.
The comment I added was part of our detour strategy took input from the chief as well. So it's not just that he's aware, he
Yes.
he asked.
He was at the table.
He was at the table making requests in our process.
Any other questions on the detour?
You know, I just like to make a comment, I know they talked about Tickner, I mean, I live in Sailor Farms, and our neighborhood is already used as a bypass, so everyone can avoid the hot mess that Ripley is.
Right.
And I know that the detour says to use Ripley, but I have a hard time believing that anybody is gonna go Ripley when they can come through our neighborhood, and we already have traffic that flies through there
Sure.
on a daily basis, and I can't even comprehend how bad it's going to be during this.
Right.
Well,
We've gotten a few emails from concerned residents in Saddlebrook. I've shared those with the police chief if he did receive them directly. And so it's certainly something we're gonna be monitoring. There may be some traffic control options that we have in there if that becomes an issue.
Don, is there still that traffic sign that flicks when it flickers that tells you the speed you're going?
Yes, that'll be deployed as well.
You're gonna be using it, okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a difference.
Yes.
I see it as a challenge.
We will keep it graded. You know, it's funny, the people, I get 2 complaints about, well, 3 complaints about Ripley Road. It's too bumpy, it's too smooth, they drive too fast, and it's too dusty. So we will try to do what we can to keep it passable, but also knowing that the police are gonna have to keep an eye on speeds on that road as well. Yeah. Right, there may be at times.
Okay, so we are replacing and updating some of the sidewalk ramps. So we do have to put barricades up for the concrete work. That'll be going on while those ramps are being replaced. My understanding is Thursday, we're going to start demolishing those ramps. I'm not super familiar with the schedule, but the reason they're closed is because we're demoing the ramps and replacing the ramps. So if you can stay out of there, just where it's barricaded, that doesn't mean you can't use the sidewalk in front of your house. It's just behind there.
So does that mean no alternate routes for pedestrians then? When they're closed at that point? So no access from A to B across that point, you're saying? For pedestrian walkway?
Can we walk on the grass?
There will be times when they will be closed completely. Concrete has to dry, they have to
Understood,
all of those
understood.
things. So yes, there will be times when you'll be walking out on the grass probably and going around. Yeah.
So we're talking about 10 or 15 feet of that you would traverse. It's
Right.
it's not hundreds of feet.
Sure,
It's
sure.
it's just a little bit.
Okay, when you started, you said begin on Wednesday, northbound lane closed. Northbound lane on what?
Well, on the north side lane, the north side westbound lane
Of East Broad Street.
will be
Broad
closed.
Street.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
Real quick, are you gonna be taking those sidewalks that are sitting like this on
Yep.
sidewalks, is those gonna go out with the tree or?
No, the only thing that's being addressed are the ADA concerns at the intersections.
And where they've taken the sidewalks out from whatever they did a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
that's where.
That would have been consumers. I'm assuming if consumers took out sidewalks, so they'll be responsible to replace those sections that they took out.
Would one of you explain what exactly you are thinking of doing, why and how long will it consume?
We are milling the top 2 inches of asphalt off the top of the road. I'm not sure if you're doing the base repair before or after the mill. After, okay. Taking the two inches of asphalt off the top, and then in selected places, there's base repair all the way to the bottom of the base of the road. None of those extend past half the width of the road. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're not.
It's usually like half a lane or less, and I think the longest one I saw was maybe 150 feet-ish.
Right in there.
Okay, so we're not replacing the entire road in any section, but we are doing patchwork. Once we mill the top off, and then at the very end, with the base repair in place, we're putting a fresh 2 inches of asphalt on top. That's what we're doing. Why we're doing it is to extend the life of the pavement. Did you say when? Was that the last part of the question?
How long?
How long will it take? All right, so the schedule that we have worked up has this finishing about mid-August. Now, construction schedules being what they are, that's a good educated guess, but we don't control the weather, we don't control that's assuming we don't have any mechanical failures or a normal amount of mechanical failures. I'm not gonna say you never break down, but I don't know what you factored in. And there's other issues that can come up beyond what you estimate in making the schedule, but mid-August is and I saw the reaction when I said mid-August. Part of the reason it's going to take that long is so that we don't impede traffic any more than we already are. We could have done the work quicker, but we would have made it much more of an inconvenience if we did the work quicker. So we think we're offsetting length of inconvenience with physical inconvenience.
Any underground utility associated with this project?
No.
None.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the damage to thickness? You're talking 3 months of being down with constant wear and tear on our roads. We just put our roads in 2002, just paid them off in 2017. Do you know what the wear and tear on this road would be? Because we're already looking.
On Broad or Tickner?
No,
On Tickner, it's looking bad in a lot of spots.
Okay.
gets used a lot.
There will be increased traffic, I mean, there's no question about it. Tickner is already basically at a point where it needs to be replaced, in all honesty. Like, it's beyond what we're doing here on East Broad, with what's called a mill and overlay. And it would be a full replacement for Tickner, so.
Are you kidding me?
No.
We couldn't do what they're doing on the other.
No, there's, it's in too bad a shape, and the base is compromised in too many areas on that stretch of road, so.
The road only lasted 24 years, was put in when my granddaughter was born.
Yeah.
2002.
What's the average life of a?
Design life is usually 20 years.
Once you pay it off, you just do it again.
Just do it again.
Yeah.
So are the
Design life
residents
is
of
20
Broad
years.
Street paying for this to be done? That's all state money, isn't it?
Right, well, that's classified as a major road, that's the reason, so they fall into
But you're
different
making our road a
categories.
major road.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate, it's part of construction.
Well, we have a detour to take some of that traffic off.
Where?
Owen Road.
Oh, because.
That's how you're getting,
Now,
so you're saying.
keep in mind, the reason we're doing this is for local access to businesses and homes. Now,
Right,
I'm not gonna pretend that it's not people passing through either, because
Right.
there will be some of that. But we're trying to keep it where the businesses, or people have access to the businesses.
Well, we appreciate what you're doing, really. Real frustrating.
All right.
Does the construction,
So, go ahead.
does the construction schedule include other parts of other roads? 'Cause didn't you say you had other projects?
The detour plan and the traffic control plan take into account the other projects that are going on in Linden. But the schedule, yes and no.
We have the bridge project that's going on North Bridge right now. Luckily, that's just a lane shift. So, slows traffic a little bit, but traffic's able to pass through it. There will be a bridge project on Ripley Road later in the summer, and that's a full closure.
Okay.
So that road will be closed while that bridge work is being
How
finished.
long is the Bridge Street Bridge going to be closed, or the one lane?
Well, they're gonna finish the southbound lane first, and then they're gonna switch sides and go over to the northbound lane, so.
We're delaying the work from Bridge to Main on Broad to the end to give the bridge a chance to be done and open
Makes sense.
by the time we get to that. So the schedule is to get it done, but the order of which we're doing the work, and the schedule is lengthened to try to handle some of these issues as well. We're adding phases to our work to accommodate precisely what you're asking about. But the schedule itself is what it'll take to do it in the way we've phased the work.
And that brings me to the next conversation, is phasing. So as I mentioned, they'll block off that north side of the road, keep the eastbound traffic open. That's phase one. Phase two, they're gonna move over to the north side. So they will shift eastbound traffic to the north side as it goes through town while they finish the south side of the road. And then phase three, they're gonna come back and they're gonna do that section that's between Bridge and Main Street. So that portion there will all be the final phase of it. And as John said, that was to try to take into account all the confusion that's already happening right there at that intersection. So by the time they get to phase three, the bridge work should be completed, that travel should be back to normal, and then they'll finish up there at that intersection.
Part of that also, phase three, is it's a small piece, and it's a small piece for our contractor. So it puts a little bit of inefficiency in the schedule, but it minimizes the impact to the businesses between Bridge and Main.
Owen Road right now, if you go down past Walmart and you're heading westbound, it's pretty rough. I just wanted to make, have you by chance had any conversations with, I know that's not your responsibility, but like, what are they gonna do construction wise on that road?
So these projects are done in coordination with the county when we set up these detour plans and everything. So they're aware of the schedule and of the detour, and we sort of get their blessing. There's a lot of projects going on. I don't know about anything on Owen. I know just outside of town, the county's gonna be doing work. I think it sounds like the same kind of work as mill and overlay out by the school and out in that direction, so. Yeah.
Big question, Memorial Day.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Memorial Day, the parade is being moved to Tickner. So we've already talked to the VFW, and they'll be shifting up there. So for those couple hours, it'll be a parade route.
I have a question for you. What consideration have you taken into the nightmare of the kayak launch on Tickner Street, which is always lined with people and walking in the road?
Well, we've got the mill project. I mean, there's certainly a lot of things going on
I
there.
understand that, but they block the north
The
lane.
police are gonna have to monitor it and make sure that people aren't parking in the road and that sort of thing, so.
Yeah, the trucks that are working on the north block that lane too.
Okay. Mail delivery and trash collection. So we talked to the postmaster at the Linden post office here, and what'll end up happening is, obviously they'll have access to the boxes on the eastbound, on the south side of the road, during the initial phase of the project. What they'll do is they'll be allowed, the contractor will allow them to go inside the cones and deliver on the north side of the road while that's a work zone. There may be a day, a couple days where a particular box or a few series of boxes may not get delivery for those couple days. So what they'll do is they'll hold everything and deliver it on day 3 or however that works out. But obviously there's going to be times when there's equipment in front of mailboxes or there's a hole in front of mailboxes as they're progressing, and so they won't have access to your mail. If you got one of the sheets, I also put their phone number on here because they said if there's something in particular that you're looking for or waiting on, that you can call them and make arrangements to go and get it at the post office. They have limited hours to do that. It sounds to me like, it's going to be in the 9-10 o'clock time range or in the afternoon when the drivers come back. So you'll want to call and make that arrangement, or if you want to call them and tell them to hold your particular mail for a few days or whatever, that they'll do that as well. Trash service is going to be similar. So the trucks, obviously, they can only load off the right side of the truck. So on the eastbound direction, they'll be able to grab everything as normal. They'll also go into the, it's a milled surface is what the work zone will be for the majority of the project. So, you'll have that 2-inch dip that goes down, and then it's kind of a rough surface. We've all sort of driven on them probably at some point. But the trash trucks will be able to get in there and get the trash on that side of the road. If you have an actual work zone, a hole, or they're working on the base in front of your particular property on Wednesday and a truck couldn't get to it, just see if your neighbor will allow you to put it where they can grab it when they come through on Wednesday. So, yes.
Actually, I do have a question. Are they fixing any of the curbs?
There's a few spots,
Because
but not a lot.
because there was one spot in my neighbor's yard. I noticed, probably because it's on the curb there, it gets hit with the snow blade. It's completely gone.
Okay.
Like it's dipped down, and there's dirt coming over the side there. So
We'll watch for those kinds of things for sure, even if it wasn't on the original plans. So
We tend to had those things on the fly. When
Yeah.
we encounter them. if they're not-
There's at least two.
These plans have been in work for years at this
Yeah,
point.
yes,
So
and so
that's what ends up happening by the time you
So we
start
miss
planning.
things like that because we're done, we've stopped drawing on them, but
Might want to mention, if anyone knows the neighbors who might hear about this meeting we had today, if they go on YouTube, Linden Leader is, taking videos right now, and they can find it by just watching it.
Any questions on trash or mail?
The residents on the north side of Broad Street, how, are they gonna be able to get into their driveways? or-
yes.
Even if you got a
And then
trailer like me.
when we flop traffic, the residents on the south side will be able to get into their driveways.
So it'll just be milled down and then they'll be able to get in?
Yes.
Again, you should be able to, the only time I can think it'd get complicated if they're working directly in front of your driveway, or if there's a piece of equipment parked, and again, just work with the contractors on site. Rob and his team will work with you, like if it's parked that would prevent you from swinging in or something, they'll move that kind
That
of
or
stuff.
the ambulance, because I got my mother-in-law who's not good on health.
Yeah.
Needs to be able to have ambulance access to her driveway, so.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, unless they're working directly in front of your driveway, and police and fire are aware of those situations, and they'll make do.
You know, you perk up when the ambulance is coming and.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you look where they wanna go and then you move.
But are you asking if there's equipment left overnight?
Yeah, like if it's blocking my driveway.
No,
They-
there
yeah.
won't be any, there better not be any. Just put it that way.
Well, feel free to call Woody's and
I
try
say
to
not
take
get not like the people that did the underground, internet there and just dumped hydraulic fluid all over our yard, buried it with dirt, just shirt it over.
If there is construction equipment parked in front of driveways overnight, we wanna know about it so we can correct that. That's not supposed to happen. Yes.
Are you going to be closing all the sidewalks, or are they somewhat passable, or?
We are closing the sidewalks in the short locations where we are working on the sidewalk ramps. But you'll be able to use the sidewalk, you'll be able to be on the sidewalk in front of your yards, but when you get to an intersection, you're gonna have to walk around the ramps, when we're working on them.
So all of the sidewalk intersections or ramps are being brought into ADA compliance, so this project will take care of that as well.
Cool.
They'll be much better
Yes.
after this.
That's good.
All right, we're at the point of general questions, so if you have any general questions that we haven't answered to this point.
Will the intersections be, like on East Street, will those intersections be closed where you can't, if you're heading east and you wanna turn on one of those?
Yes.
So there's gonna be times, yeah. so-
That they'll be closed?
Yeah,
But will they wait like overnights even?
it might be an overnight. We're gonna try to keep that as limited as we can.
Okay,
But there's some of those areas where they're really bad that we have to actually mill down deeper,
okay.
so they may be closed.
And I know, I think, it might be South Street where it's really bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're not gonna be closed like that till mid-August.
Right.
No,
No,
just
no, I understand that.
maybe a couple days at most, if
Okay.
that.
If half the road is closed, are semi-trucks gonna be able to fit? Cause I have multiple everyday deliveries coming to the store. I don't know if semis are gonna be able to fit in there.
Yes, to get access to your business, you're talking?
Yeah.
Yes, they should be able to. I mean, the contractors may have to move some cones or something for them to make a wide swing, but, yeah, they're just, the travel lane will remain its normal width, and with the exception of like when they're milling and they're actually taking a bite, but they'll work with you to make sure that they can get those trucks in and out.
John, are we gonna have signs up for like Calvary's that people know that the local businesses are open?
I ordered a bunch of signs, I should be able to pick them up tomorrow, that says open for businesses and those kinds of things. So we will have those on the barricades so people are aware.
We're using business signs in the detour plan as well.
Have all your workers.
Yes.
Years ago, this was done before, and they did a top surface. actually overlaid on top of some drain covers.
Yeah.
There's,
Be very careful of your.
I'm aware of one, I'm aware of one
I'm
just,
aware of 3 or 4.
okay.
So,
So we'll be marking the one that I'm aware of.
okay.
We'll mark that out, so we don't want to hit those with the milling machine.
Okay. So that would lengthen the process, this whole project.
Are you improving the storm drains along there as well, where they're starting to sink?
If they're,
That's gonna
if they
take
have
care
to
of it?
be, if they have to be elevated, yes.
Okay, there's a bunch on Tinker Street that are.
Yes,
sunk.
there are, yes, there
So we get through this and we don't have to do that over another 20 years?
That's not how mill and overlay works. So, there's a standard, Michigan system called the Pacer rating.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Don answered it probably better without me referencing the Pacer rating. But it's a system that MDOT put together and we all use for pavement condition. And once you're down past a 3, 4, 3, thereabouts, when you're at a 3, there's not much you can do to extend the life of your road. You have to replace it. We can see distress at the top of the pavement that indicates that it's a 3. And when you mill and overlay it, you might put lipstick on a pig for a minute, but it's what's underneath that's falling apart. And that's why you have to go all the way down deep to replace it. Now there's some cracking. We look at it and we go, you can seal that, keep water out of it, but structurally it's fine. But when you get into the alligator cracking with pretty small squares, you're losing your base. When you're opening up potholes that I can't avoid, and that run deep really quickly, you're talking about a structural age deficiency. It's just too old to work.
And what happens in that situation, and some of you are familiar with West Ralston Road, so you can go and make it look good for a year or 2. You can just do that surface. But if the base has been contaminated with water and other materials, as soon as you do that, freeze and salt cycles just kill it in just a short period of time. So that's why I'm saying full reconstruction for Tickner when it's time, because it's, again, you could dress it up, but it's just not going to last. It's not going to be money well spent, and it wouldn't be recommended.
And one more item, mill and overlay can buy you typically 5 to 10 years more life in your road. So no, once we do it, you're not, if you get 20 years, good for you. Good for you, but.
We did everything.
But we don't.
Sidewalks, we didn't do as much.
But I don't see a lot of mill and overlays last 20, I don't see a lot of them buy you 20 years.
When this construction is completed, what is the next construction and where is that?
For roadways?
Yes, roadway.
So we're wrapping up a couple projects right now. The bridges you heard me talk about. The next thing that you're going to see from, and these are internal projects, you're going to see some small, what we call quilt repairs in a few different areas. And it doesn't do anything to preserve the longevity of the roads. So for example, you're going to see some work, and honestly, it may even happen during this project. You're going to see some work on Hickory. We've been trying to get a grant for Hickory for 4 years now, and we've come up short. So you're going to see some work on Hickory where they'll come in and they'll do the same process. They're going to mill and put down 2 inches, but it's patchwork. It's on the worst of the worst areas. And to John's point, it's just making rideability a little more pleasurable, in all honesty, and lengthening the life of the road. It's not fixing anything. I have some stuff that will be happening on North Bridge, where sections of North Bridge are in rough shape, and a little bit on West Broad as well. So those will be coming up probably this summer.
You mentioned, some work on Ripley at the bridge,
Yes.
that's gonna close it, that's the bridge over the water.
Correct.
Are we gonna have any problems with them putting the walkway through and us using eastbound? The pathway, I'm sorry, pathway.
Oh, well, I mean, there's some, there's some conflicts out at that intersection, Triangle Park area, you know, that we wish weren't happening, but, you know, this grant funding comes through, you gotta jump on it. That thing, all the finances came together for that thing, so they started moving, so I'd prefer that they weren't happening at the same time, but they are, so. It's gonna be more of a headache for the contractors than it is, it is for us.
It sounds like a conflict there.
Well, there's a couple of ramps that are both in our plan and in the plan of the contractor that's working on the pathway. I can't say 100% at this point because we haven't ironed it out. But what's gonna happen is one contractor is not gonna build those ramps and the other one is. And it's probably going to be the pathway contractor that's gonna build those ramps and not our contractor for Broad. That's how I think it's gonna go, but we haven't all come to the table and said yes yet. But no one's being disagreeable either.
You know, and from the public's perspective, you put in for these projects and you try to get grants and you try to get grants year after year after year. And finally, you know, they come through and you're like, okay, let's move with it. And so I know it often comes across as, oh, you guys don't do any kind of planning or anything. It's like, well, we try, but when they say your project's funded, we jump on it.
And they only give you a certain amount of time to do it.
Yeah,
Correct?
there's expiration dates on the grants.
Any other general questions?
Just a comment, I guess I wanna offer that, if you guys have any to go to the teams meetings at Fenton Township to represent you guys in a force of questions, I would like to volunteer to do that, because they don't play well with others, if I can be that rude. Fenton Township does not play well with any of this. They get the tax money, and they spend it, and none of our utilities or equipment or teams benefit from it, fire or law. So if you need people to be mom bears and papa bears to go to that meeting for you, I'm in, sign me up. Okay?
I have a story for you after this is over.
got it.
I can't tell it in front of everyone, or I could if everyone wants to agree, but.
Any other questions for anybody?
No,
Okay.
thank you, Doug.
Yeah, we appreciate your patience. We know it's certainly inconvenient. We hope that the end product is worth the inconvenience. We should have a really nice road for a number of years here. So thanks for being understanding.